Exploring SecurTrac, Mail Monitor Overview. In the Mail Monitor view of the SecurTrac configuration database, at a glance, quickly understand which Mail Monitor documents have been created, identify which ones are active, along with which Mail Monitor elements have been selected. Step 1. When configuring a SecurTrac Mail Monitor document, identify the users that need to be monitored. When selecting by username, select the desired user entries, person, or group documents from the Domino directory. If monitoring activity for a mail-in database or for a mail database that is not referenced by a person document, select By Mail Database Path instead. It is also possible to exclude certain users from being monitored. Use of wildcard is supported in both fields, as seen in the examples below. Note the monitoring for use of full access administration can also be selected. Step 2. Specify whether or not this particular Mail Monitor document applies to all servers in the domain, or specify the servers where the monitor should be enabled. Important note: SecurTrac must be installed and running on all specified servers. SecurTrac cannot monitor activity on a server where SecurTrac is not running. Step 3. Though optional, it is recommended that a description for the monitor be specified. Specifying a description will make identifying a monitor document at a view level easier, and when viewing SecurTrac logs, it will be easy to determine which monitor triggered the logged event. Step 4a. By default, SecurTrac will log all events regardless of monitor type into a centralized SecurTrac log database called sctlog.nsf. If for a particular monitor, logged events should be isolated into a separate log database, SecurTrac can accommodate that requirement. Step 4b. By default and regardless of monitor type, SecurTrac will log all events into a log database on the same server where the event occurred. If there's a preference to store all logged events onto a centralized specified server, SecurTrac can also accommodate that requirement. Step 5. If multiple monitors exist that ultimately in the end will detect the same event, SecurTrac will by default log a single entry into the sctlog.nsf database. This is the recommended setting. There are, however, industries that require multiple log entries when more than one monitor detects the same event. In those cases, the multiple log entries option would be selected. If a monitor has been active and it's later decided that the monitor has to be temporarily disabled without affecting other active monitors, select Disable this mail monitor. To enable the monitor again at a later time, simply deselect Disable this mail monitor. Step 1. On the Monitor Mail Action tab, identify the action that you would like to monitor. Options include logging email that has been sent, routed, received, opened, updated, deleted, delivery failures, and illegal opens. An illegal open means that whenever someone other than the mail file owner, as defined in the Mail Database Preferences profile, opens and reads an email, that event will be logged by SecurTrac as an illegal open action. Step 2, though optional, allows you to log events at a more granular level. Specify a criteria to match. Leverage the intuitive formula wizard as seen to generate a formula that will be used. Alternatively, if you're comfortable writing formula language, create your own formula language statements using the formula editor. Continuing with Step 3, SecurTrac includes the ability to configure some exceptions as it relates to logging by the mail monitor. The entries highlighted below are some recommended selections. Use the option Don't generate log if action is triggered by the following tasks to ignore activity generated by Domino antivirus software or Agent Manager. This will help improve server performance and help minimize excessive and possibly otherwise unnecessary logging by SecurTrac. Select any of the other exceptions that could be useful in your environment. Continuing with Step 4, SecurTrac includes the ability to log traffic going through an HCL Traveler server. If the logging of this type of activity is required, select this option. Moving to Step 5, though not enabled by default, logging mail content or the email body is a popular selection. Logging file attachments is also useful. logging attachments can be done at two different levels. Log attachment info, which will log such things as file name, file size, date of creation. However, it will not capture a copy of the actual file attachment itself. Log attachments info and content would capture the above mentioned file information in addition to capturing a copy of the actual file attachment itself. Important note, logging file attachment info and content may use additional server resources. In step 6, if needed, enable SecurTrac's bulk action detection feature. For example, to detect when a possibly disgruntled employee mass deletes email from their mail database after having resigned from the company. With SecurTrac's real-time notification feature, which can be customized and previewed, it will alert someone immediately about the possibly suspicious activity so that the situation can be investigated. If within a particular mail monitor document there is no need to monitor mail actions, but rather only a requirement to monitor mail delegation and/or mail ACL, there is an option, Disable Monitoring Mail Action, which can be selected on the Monitor Mail Action tab. On the Mail Monitor Mail Delegation tab, if a decision is made to monitor mail delegation activity, other than possibly specifying the one available exception, the only other configuration to make would be to decide if real-time notification is required and to specify its preferences. If logging mail delegation activity is not needed, select the option Disable Monitoring Mail Delegation. Step 1. On the Monitor Mail ACL tab, identify your logging preferences. Show all ACL entries. Select this option if you want to show all ACL entries in the SecurTrac log. If not, only modified ACL entries will be shown. Next, in step 2, which is optional, if needed, select the only available exception, which is to prevent generating a log if the ACL profile is saved, but where no actual ACL changes were made. In step 3, with SecurTrac's real-time notification feature that can be customized and previewed, it will alert someone immediately when a database ACL has been updated. Next, in step 4, SecurTrac includes an advanced feature which can be automatically invoked when an ACL update has been made. This feature provides the ability to export the original ACL to DXL, therefore making a backup copy of the original ACL. The exported ACL will be stored in the SecurTrac log. If required, the original ACL can be restored to the database at the click of a button. Select this option to take advantage of this capability. If logging mail ACL activity is not needed, select the option Disable Monitoring ACL to prevent ACL changes from being logged by SecurTrac. Each mail monitor includes the ability to schedule activity summary reports. Simply select the Report tab in the Mail Monitor. Step 1. Reports can be scheduled to run on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Configure the schedule to best suit your reporting requirements. Once a report has been run, using SecurTrac's real-time notification feature, which can be customized and previewed, alert someone immediately when the summary report is available. To prevent scheduled reports from running, select Disable Sending Report. Reports can be run manually as well by clicking on the Run Report Now action button. Let's review some sample Mail Monitor logs, starting with the Mail Action Monitor log. When viewing a SecurTrac Mail Monitor log, within seconds the who, where, when, and what details as it relates to the Mail Monitor log can be easily understood. Without SecurTrac in place, obtaining that level of information may not be possible or would be very time-consuming to gather. The Action Details section of the log shows who initiated the mail action, the date and time of the event, database details where the event was triggered, the action type, and whether or not full access administration privilege was used. The Connection Details section shows the service name, the port type, and the IP address. Leveraging the IP address information is especially important for situations where perhaps someone's note's user ID has been compromised and is now being used without authorization. Using the IP address information The computer where the activity originated from can be easily located. In the message details section, the information that is logged is split into three sections: message header, message body, and message attachment. On the message header tab, identify such things as the message ID, the sender, the recipients including to, carbon copy, and blind carbon copy, the subject, whether or not the message was encrypted or signed. On the message body tab, the message content can be seen exactly as it appeared in the actual email in the mail database. On the message attachment tab, file attachment details including file name, file size, file creation date can be easily identified. Additionally, a copy of the actual file attachment itself can also be found. The file attachment can be saved or opened directly from the SecurTrac log. Now let's review a sample mail delegation monitor log. When viewing a SecurTrac mail delegation log, you will notice the layout is very similar to the mail document log that we just saw in the previous example. Again, it's quick to find the important details as it relates to the mail delegation log. Focusing on the delegation details section, the fact that a change was made to the mail delegation can easily be recognized, with the changes being highlighted in yellow and showing the new value as well as the original value. Let's review a sample mail ACL monitor log. In this ACL monitor log example, by reviewing the action details section, we can identify that the notes admin initiated the ACL change in the mail database of Billy Black. The IP address is also noted in the connection details. Looking at the ACL details, it can be seen that in this case an ACL entry was deleted. The specific ACL entry and its value at the time of deletion were captured. We also see that an entry was modified along with a snapshot of the original ACL before any of the changes were made. In this ACL monitor log, we can see a button titled Restore Original ACL. If, for example, it was determined that this ACL change should not have been done, simply click on the Restore Original ACL button to revert the mail database ACL back to its original state. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. To learn more about our products, please visit our website for product information and additional tutorials. Visit us at www.extracomm.com.